Hello, passionate Celtic FC fans. This is Celtic Central News, your exclusive source for Celtic updates. Before we kick off, we appreciate the incredible support. If you love Celtic, subscribe now, hit like, and let's build this community together. Now, onto the latest news. A warm welcome to new subscribers. Your support is crucial. Hail, hail! There is still a lingering feeling that Kieran Tierney's return to Celtic on loan this January might not be completely off the table, despite recent reports suggesting otherwise. The anticipation among supporters remains high, as many hoped the left-back would be back in Glasgow before making his long-awaited permanent return in the summer. However, conflicting information has emerged, making this saga far from over. Just yesterday, reports surfaced claiming that while Tierney has already agreed to rejoin Celtic permanently at the end of the season, his immediate return on loan will not materialise as initially expected. Arsenal, currently in the midst of a Premier League title challenge, have seemingly decided that the Scottish international will remain in London until the season concludes. This decision has deeply disappointed Celtic fans, who had envisioned Tierney reinforcing the squad for the Champions League playoffs and the crucial domestic run-in as the club chases a historic treble. What makes this situation particularly puzzling is that Tierney is barely involved in Arsenal's plans at the moment. Despite his undeniable talent, he finds himself well down the pecking order under Mikel Arteta, with several other options preferred in his left-back position. Given his lack of meaningful game time, many believed Arsenal would have no qualms about allowing him to return to Celtic early, especially considering the precedent set with Alex Vale. The young Spaniard had initially joined Celtic on loan from Barcelona, but was permitted to terminate his stay early in order to sign for Italian side Como. Brendan Rodgers himself had explained that Vale's early departure was due to a shift in the original agreement regarding playing time. This seemed to open the door for Celtic to push for Tierney's loan move, particularly since Greg Taylor remains the club's only reliable left-back option. If Vale's circumstances could change so quickly, why wouldn't Arsenal show the same flexibility for a player they are hardly using? The logic behind their refusal to loan Tierney remains questionable at best. What makes matters even stranger is the financial aspect of this situation. Arsenal's apparent reluctance to send Tierney on loan suggests that they either believe they may still have a use for him or that they are attempting to extract a better financial deal from Celtic. Tierney currently earns a staggering £110,000 per week, yet he has largely been confined to the bench. Would Arteta truly prefer to keep a high-earning player in reserve rather than allowing him to gain match fitness and momentum elsewhere? It raises the suspicion that Arsenal may be trying to test Celtic's resolve, gauging how far they are willing to go to bring Tierney home. There is still time for things to shift before the transfer window slams shut. If Brendan Rodgers is serious about having Tierney in his squad immediately, then the ball is in Celtic's court. Michael Nicholson, the club's chief executive, could pick up the phone and negotiate improved financial terms with his Arsenal counterpart. Perhaps a slightly higher contribution to Tierney's wages could be enough to break the deadlock. Never say never in football. There's always a chance that an agreement can still be reached at the 11th hour. If it happens, remember where you heard it first. If not, well, there's no harm in a Celtic fan daring to dream. One way or another, the situation should become clearer soon. Brendan Rodgers will be addressing the media later today ahead of Celtic's crucial Scottish Premiership clash against Motherwell at Fir Park on Sunday. With a 3 p.m. kick-off, the match will be broadcast live on Sky Sports for viewers in the UK, while international subscribers can follow the action on Celtic TV. It will be fascinating to hear whether Rodgers drops any hint about a potential last-minute breakthrough in the Tierney negotiations. Until then, the hope remains alive. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favourite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. In the ever-dramatic world of Celtic, a storm appears to be brewing over Mike Nawrocki's future at the club, and it's impossible to ignore the stark signal being sent by Brendan Rodgers. Nawrocki, once the £4.3 million signing from Legia Warsaw, is no longer part of the Celtic first-team picture. What's even more perplexing is his disappearance from matchday squads entirely, a fate that has left many fans scratching their heads. In a crucial moment during a recent match, when Liam Scales was forced off with an injury just 7 minutes from time, Rodgers had a choice. Nawrocki, the seasoned centre-back, could have been the logical replacement, a man with experience in a vital role. But instead, Rodgers shocked everyone by opting to bring on young Dane Murray, a player who hadn't featured for the first team in over 3 years. This strange turn of events sent a clear, unsettling message: Nawrocki's time at Celtic is nearing its end. The club, as Hugh Keevins pointed out, seems eager to move him on before the transfer deadline hits. The idea of a £4.3 million signing being cast aside so easily is jarring, but Keevins claims that Celtic would be delighted to see him depart, a statement that highlights just how dire the situation has become. Rodgers' actions are now being viewed through a critical lens, with some suggesting that his decision to continually field younger players in crucial moments could be an attempt to send a broader message. One of the standout moments was the debut of Daniel Cummings, a promising youngster who took the field not only in the Champions League but in his first-ever appearance for Celtic. It's clear that Celtic see something in him, but it's also apparent that their patience with veterans like Nawrocki is wearing thin. Keevins' remarks about young players at Celtic are telling. He suggests that modern youth players no longer dream of playing for the club in the way previous generations did. Instead, they see it as a stepping stone, a brief stop on their way to bigger things. In this context, the likes of Cummings, Varta, and Kelly aren't just future prospects, but part of a larger shift in Celtic's strategy. But then there's Dane Murray. Despite his long absence from the first team, Murray has been consistently trusted by Rodgers, while Nawrocki remains an afterthought. Keevins believes that Murray's future at Celtic is secure, suggesting that the club will see more of him in the coming months, even if it means waving goodbye to Nawrocki for good. The drama surrounding Nawrocki's future continues to unfold, with the transfer deadline looming large. Celtic's move to offload him is not just about clearing a wage bill, it's a stark reflection of the changing priorities within the club. Nawrocki's hefty price tag, once seen as an investment, now feels like a burden they are eager to rid themselves of. In the final days leading up to the deadline, Celtic fans are left wondering how it all went so wrong for Nawrocki. From being a promising defensive prospect to a forgotten figure on the sidelines, his Celtic career has unravelled in a way no one could have predicted. If the club can indeed finalise a deal to move him on, it will mark the end of an era that, quite frankly, never truly began. As the clock ticks down to transfer deadline day, all eyes will be on the fate of Mike Nawrocki. Will Celtic manage to move him on and close this chapter, or will they be stuck with a player who no longer fits into their plans? Whatever happens, one thing is clear: Nawrocki's time at Celtic is swiftly coming to an end, and it's a story that will be remembered as one of missed opportunities and painful departures. Hello, fan! Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.